Alright, so let's check out Meta or Facebook. So we made a video on this like 4 days ago, basically outlining that we had a 27% drop, more or less. And it seems like the downtrend still is continuing for Facebook. So since that drop, we've had almost another 8% drop, about 8% from where the candle body closes. And it does come down to 8% if we're coming down to this wick here. So let's see a few possible scenarios of where we could go now. We are currently... we've currently come down about 6% below the 200-week moving average. And what I want to show you is all the scenarios where we've previously dipped below the 200-week moving average for Facebook. Normally whenever Facebook comes to the 200-day, we go below it for a little bit longer before resuming the uptrend. So I want to show you approximately how much the downtrends were from the levels that we're at now. So you can see here we had a 16% correction after breaking the 200-day. From here, from the break to the low, you can see we had about an 8.5% correction. And if we come back further, you can see that we don't have a 200-week moving average past this point here, because obviously Facebook was made around this time, so we don't have enough data to show what it is. But you know, even if we did, if we were continuing this line, you could basically see that, you know, there was not really any data in here. So we've only got 2 previous data points where this has happened before, and this was in March of 2020 and well, this was basically when the Fufu was announced. So you can see here this was 8.5, and here it was a bit more steep of 16.7. So we're currently only down about 6%. So, you know, if we're taking an average of these two, you could probably say that we potentially do have a little bit more downwards momentum to go, maybe to somewhere like maybe 200 or something. I'm basically pulling these levels out of my ass because there's no fibs, there's no data that I can pull from this level. I mean, we're basically, I mean, look at this, we're floating in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, people can't really give you too much technical analysis on what's happening on Facebook right now, but you can obviously look at the RSI, which is off the table right now at 21. If we zoom back, I don't think we have been this low on the RSI since its inception, when it had its first dip in July 2012. So I mean, it's really getting close to bottom territory. If this isn't the bottom for Facebook, then I do honestly see like a massive, you know, financial crisis or something happening, something somewhat unexpected. But I do believe that we are somewhat near the bottom for Facebook now. There's been so much selling volume coming in. The RSI being completely off the table, it really doesn't look good right now. But I mean, from the top up here, in a brief period of time, we've basically lost a third of the value of Facebook, which is roughly 300 million or something. A market cap is obviously a lot smaller than it was a week ago or so. Coming over to the SPY as well, you can see that we still haven't made a decision. We're chopping. You can see this downtrending resistance, and you can see this uptrending support right here, and we're basically bouncing. So what I'm looking for is for potentially Facebook or the SPY to give us an indication of what's going to be happening. Now the apex of this triangle is on the 11th of February, so we should have a decision by, you know, the 11th, 12th or so. If we do fall below this kind of red uptrending support, then we are probably going to backtest the lows down here at 420, potentially even making new lows. I mean, the next support I see for this is the 200-week moving average, which is approximately a 24% dump from where we are now. If we come over to the 200-day, see what that moving average is telling us. You can see that we're basically just hovering above it now. If I remove that so you can see it a bit better, you can see that we are still technically above the 200-day. So Facebook, the SPY and Facebook, all of the stock market is really in decision time, and we're just waiting for the SPY. So I'll give you an update once we've made a decision. Obviously, we can't really be bullish for stocks, the stock market, or Bitcoin until we do break above the top of this channel and go off to the races. Obviously, if we start falling down here, we really don't have much further, or we don't have anywhere else that we can really bounce from apart from all the way down here on the 200-week moving average. And I've outlined this in my previous videos before, and I'll show you again. Basically, every time we've lost the 200-day, we've basically come all the way down at least to here. We know either we bounce on it or we have a bounce and then break below it again. You can see that we bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. We lost it as support here. So I mean, it really doesn't look good. It basically shows every time we lose the 200-day moving average, we come all the way down to the 200-week at least. And that's you know, best case scenario, we lose this here. We come down 25% bounce, and we'll have to see, you know, later on in the year if we can finally break above this channel. But even if we don't hold this 200-week, there would be an absolute bloodshed coming in. You can see that from here, this was approximately another 16% drop, which obviously if it's dropping already, then that's mental. I mean, the stock market is not very used to these big drops. This was a 50% drop. If we do kind of start breaking down, then it is really going to look bad for stocks, Facebook, the SPY, and crypto. So I'm currently not buying any stocks, not buying any assets, any cryptos. I'm waiting for the SPY to really say what's going on. So that's basically all. There's no real volume coming in yet. We're gonna have to take it day by day. But like I said, I mean, the apex of this miniature kind of like triangle pattern here is on the 11th, so we should have a decision in the next 3 or 4 days or so, and I'll give you an update once we've got that. So thanks for watching my content. Once again, none of this is financial advice, it's just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.